Hello there.
Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Canoe's Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on another fine Wednesday night. How's everybody doing? I hope that your week has been going amazing. I hope that you are all staying warm. It's still cold, okay? It's still pretty cold. So yeah, hopefully you guys are staying warm, you're staying safe, you're eating plenty of good snacks, caloric intake is the way to go and how to survive this cold weather. At least that's what I tell myself. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me here on Wednesday night. Man, it has been a week. It has been a week. Yeah, it's I'm tired. I'm tired, and it's barely Wednesday, which scares me a little bit. But again, we're here. We're in the bunker. We're gonna chat some stuff. And by stuff, I mean the future of Star Wars, which we'll get into in a little while. But again, hopefully everybody's doing good. Thank you again for joining me on another episode here on Wednesday nights. And yeah, um, I don't know how January is not over, guys. I don't, I still can't believe we still got a couple more days left in January. Yeah, it feels it's been quite the year already. And yes, I know we're 4 weeks into the year, but man, oh man. um, Hopefully everybody else is doing better. Hopefully everybody else is having a great first month of the year. We're in 2026, which sounds less futuristic than 2025 for some reason. I don't know, 2025 was maybe just more rolls off the tongue, like easier than 2026 in my opinion. But yeah, we're here pretty much into the future. And yeah, we'll see also what the future of Star Wars starts to look like. I think here in the next few months, as you know, there's been some changes, right? There's been some changes in Lucasfilm. There's been some changes in Disney also, which I think we're gonna start to see some interesting stuff start coming out. Now, remember, guys, it's not gonna be immediate. Um, it is gonna take a little while. So a lot of the stuff that we're gonna see this year, it's already done. It's been recorded, it's been filmed, it's been done. All right, they're just waiting to release it. So don't think that from this day forward everything is new, right? For Disney, it's gonna take a little while. All right, I'd say honestly probably about a year, maybe more, until we start seeing some actual stuff coming out of this new direction. All right, but before we jump into all of that, and I really do want to hear your opinions on it, we're gonna talk with the chat here because the Bunker Bunch is out in force. Even before the stream started, we got is collect. What is going on, bro? Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Hump Day, almost through the week, dude. I'm telling you, man, it has been yeah. Uh Monday was it was already a long week this week, but appreciate you joining us and thank you. Yes, we're almost there. We're almost there. Hello there, says Juan. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Ultra in the house. You guys cold in Florida, all right? Just like John Carpenter's The Thing, that's a good reference right there. What to expect? More shows and movies, I hope. Yes and no. We will get more for sure, right? In terms of obviously that I don't think they're gonna stop, but I like to say more quality. That's what I like to say. For the majority of winter, you will see me in the chat reference the thing a lot. It's a great movie, man. Hey Carrie, how you doing? Ooh, pickups from Target. All right. Sinoceratops. There you go. Oh, Spider-Man 2099. That's the no, that's like the third release, right? For 2099 on Marvel Legends. I think I have the second one, if I remember correctly. The one on the retro card. Um, so yeah, again, thank you for joining. Hopefully everybody's doing awesome on Wednesday. So what do you guys say? And we start here. Let's start theorizing a little bit. for what's to come. I'm pretty sure everybody here has heard the news, but just in case, Kathleen Kennedy is no longer the president of Lucasfilm, right? As of what was it, last week? And so now we have um, two co-presidents, right? One of them being Dave Filoni, which is the creative, of course, side of things. So he remains with the title of creative chief officer, if I remember correctly. I don't know. There's some cool title like that. But he's also now co-president, which is interesting, right? And again, I think they are taking a page off of Warner Brothers. The way they did it with DC Comics, with DC Studios, technically, not DC Comics. For their properties based on the superheroes from DC Comics, right? So that's why we see James Gunn, pulling the strings now again on the creative side. So yeah, Dave Filoni is basically becoming a very similar role for Lucasfilm. Obviously, that means Star Wars primarily. Although I was thinking about this the other day. Although it's Lucasfilm in general, right? So that means that Filoni can also be involved with other properties like Indiana Jones, like Willow, that kind of stuff. So maybe we start seeing some properties here trying again. Um, Unfortunately, both those properties that I mentioned already tried semi recently in the last 2 to 3 years, and it did not work out. I think for either of them. Willow, if you remember, there's a new show, or there was a new show, um, and then Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Right? I can't say that either of them were very successful. If I'm being honest, I think Indiana Jones bombed like pretty bad. Actually, you know what? Maybe we can talk actual numbers. Let's see. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny box office. Let's see. Um, well, actually, I think it did a little bit more money than I thought. So let me show you guys this here, and I will do this here. All right. So Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was released in 2023. That's kind of crazy. I don't know why. I thought it was only like a year old. But no, apparently it's going on 2.5 years old. That last Indiana Jones movie. So yeah, June of 2023. 2 hours and 35 minutes. Yeah, that was a long movie. I saw it, guys. I swear to you that I saw it, but I cannot remember for the life of me, aside from some sort of like time travel that didn't really make sense. It wasn't cool like they did in the Avengers. It was just, yeah. Anyway, um, so it seems that oh, here we go. That makes more sense. So domestic, it did 174. Let's say 174.5 million. Domestic. International, it did 209.5 million. So worldwide, it did 384 million, which is a ton of money. But I'm pretty sure this movie was pretty expensive. Um, what is the budget? Does this guy tell us? I don't think so. I don't think it does say, but still 384. Let's see, Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. Let's see, budget. Uh, oh no way. So apparently, that's kind of exact. So apparently, according to IMDb, the actually I can just show you the budget for the movie was 387 million. That is absolutely insane. That's a lot of money. Uh 387 million, and it made 384 million, right? But again, remember the that famous rule of thumb that a movie needs to make twice as much as its budget, right? To be basically breaking even, not even a success, just to like barely say that it made it, right? So this is obviously not nowhere near that ballpark. So yeah, budget is a massive box office loss, obviously. Um, Oh, this I haven't read that last part. This doesn't include marketing costs. I thought that was the whole thing. That's nuts. What did they do with that money? I mean, I know like 100 went to Harrison Ford because he definitely didn't want to make um, any more of those movies. And they're like, well, let me ask you this. What if we back up the money truck to your house? And apparently they did because, geez, 387 millions like in production money? That is insane. Um, I wonder if it says. No, it doesn't say. So it says Harrison Ford has made 105 million playing Indiana Jones in 5 movies. But I was curious to see how much he got paid for uh, for Dial of Destiny. Let me see if I can find it. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so he reportedly made 25 million for Dial of Destiny. So he's fine. Okay, let's just say that he's good. I'm sure he's not that angry that it didn't do great. He still walked away, with a pretty check. So yeah, let me ask you that first. Do you think that Dave Filoni will do a good job um, leading? He probably won't direct, to be honest, but leading a another Indiana Jones project. Probably not another movie. Let's be honest. But maybe another TV show, maybe animated. I think that'd be kind of fun, right? Like Indiana Jones animated could work. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Speaking of the chat, let me jump right back into it. Do-do-do-do-do. We got Big John in the house. What's going on, brother? It's my boy, the Bunker Bunch. Yes, sir. The Bunker Brother. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming. Ultra says third Spider-Man. Yes, which puts previous two versions to shame since the recent Spider-Man is the Renew Your Vows. But oh, nice. That's good to know. I might have to pick that up. Hello there, General and Bunker Bunch. What's going on, Jeff? Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you so much. Uh, the first three was the best. Yeah, absolutely. Which is kind of funny, right? It's almost like a theme with Lucasfilm. Ultra just Indiana Jones 5 to high budget, and the fact not everyone is either into it or don't know much about it. It was, yeah, man. I don't think they had a great story either. Um, I just didn't realize it was such a big budget, man. That is impressive. 387 million just for the production, plus another what, couple 100 million um for marketing, which means Indiana Jones 5 needed to make what, like 1 billion to be called a mild success, by those numbers, because it basically cost like half a billion, I'm sorry, $500 million um, to make and promote. I guess so, right? Yeah. So it would have had to have made like 1 billion for it to break even, quote unquote. That is insane. That is a lot of money, and I don't know who thought that Indiana Jones was gonna make $1 billion. But yeah, again, let me know. I ask you now: do you think Dave Filoni um, would be good? Spearheading Indiana Jones. Big John says, I think we will know a lot more with how the Darth Maul show goes. Darth Maul is my favorite character in the Star Wars world. I hope they don't F it up. Yeah, same here. I never watched it. Dude, I saw it once, man. I saw it once. Jeff says, good timing. Secret Space Collectibles has its first episode with Indie Guy releasing Friday night, early Saturday. Oh, there you go. Drop the. Actually, you know what? I can do that. Where is my browser? Here. I can drop the link. I have the power. Speaking of, have y'all been seeing that He-Man um trailer and those pictures and the toys, dude? I'm excited for that movie. That movie looks great. I mean, the casting, I'll be honest with you, I was like, okay, I think they got most of it, when I saw it. Um, but but now that I see them, I saw them in action, in the trailer. Of course, we didn't see much, um, but we got a pretty good look at all of the characters, and man, I am, yeah, I'm excited for that movie. That movie looks great. Um, He-Man, from what I'm told, because I don't remember, from what I'm told, was basically my first thing that I liked. Um, I believe it was my 1 year old, uh, my one, um, my first birthday party is what I'm trying to say. I'm blanking out, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a week. Uh, my first birthday party was He-Man theme, and which I'm not entirely sure how my parents decided on that, but it's kind of cool. Um, whoa, oof, here we go. Um, I actually still have my OG battle cat without the armor though, just the cat. That my uncle gave me, 40 years ago or whatever. But yes, all this to say that I like He-Man, and I'm very much looking forward to the movie because it kind of looks good. Not gonna lie, it kind of looks good. Okay, so here in the chat, I dropped the Secret Space Collectibles YouTube channel, guys. If you haven't, please go ahead, give them a follow. Check out their upcoming episode. It says here it premieres on the 30th, which is Friday, at 11 p.m. Central, so my time. So yeah, check it out. Secret Space Collectibles, uh, great guys. You know them. Jeff, Jason. Great members of the community, great friends of the channel, and we are very excited on this new project that they got going on. So once again, all you got to do is click on the link, hit that subscribe button, and tune in Friday night. Friday night. So there you go. All right, let me get back here into the chat. We got Sexy Flexi in the house. What is going on, brother? Greetings from hot General and Bunker Bunch. Bro, like seriously, it is so cold up there. I'm not gonna lie, it got cold down here too, okay, especially for Texas. We didn't get snow this time around, but we got ice. We got plenty of ice, okay, and that's already catastrophic for us. We dropped down to like 22, and we were losing our minds. All right, it was the snow apocalypse all over again. No snow though. Is says I will be watching. Nice. Flex says easy, easy. I keep saying easy. I'm sorry. Easy, man. I'm telling you, dude, I am out of it. Is says Jeff is says Flex. Hi, says Marta. Hello, General Kenobi, says Luis. Jeff saying animated by me cool, right? I think there's something to be said for a cool animated Indiana Jones. I don't know. I think we got yeah, I think we got a shot there. I mean Filoni does animation very well, as we know. Um, but again, I think he's gonna be pretty busy to be directing stuff. I think that we hope, right? We want him to direct everything, right? Or to write everything. He's a great writer. Like he's improved a lot. And of course, now he's directing live action, which is awesome. So myself as a fan, I want him to do more, right? Like I want to see him direct more stuff. I want to see him write more stuff. But I think this promotion, right, that he got actually means the opposite. I think now he will have more responsibilities as co-president, right? That he's not going to be able to direct, he's not going to be able to write as much as I think we would hope. But it does give him the power, right? And the position, and honestly, the responsibility to be more involved in pretty much all of the projects. Now, again, take that statement with a grain of salt. The fact that he's involved doesn't mean he's controlling everything, all right? Which is something I always try to tell you guys with Kathleen Kennedy. She's not, definitely not reading every single page, but I think Filoni will try to do that, but I don't think he'll be able to. Again, not without sacrificing, you know, uh, some time for directing stuff or some time for writing stuff. So my point is that while it's great. I think overall it's a very positive step for the fandom for Star Wars, right? Just I'm trying to make everybody curve their expectations a little bit, right? This doesn't mean that Filoni writes and directs every single thing. Again, if anything, I kind of feel that it means he's gonna direct less. He's gonna be a little bit more busy with the other side of the job. Um, but that means he's basically in charge of the creative side of all of Lucasfilm. So he's gonna have a say, right? A very important say. He's gonna have, basically his little strings on everything in theory that the Lucasfilms, puts out. Again, Star Wars for sure. I don't know if they're dividing or they're appointing anybody else to handle the other IPs, which would be interesting. Like if they have a chief creative officer, let's say again just for Indiana Jones or just for their other IPs. So I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting because if Dave Filoni is now the boss of all of Lucasfilms, then again that means he has to oversee not just Star Wars. So keep that in mind. I think that's an interesting point. Let's see. Hey Jeff says I see is man. I'm so sorry, man. What would you say about the Indiana Jones? There's only been 3 Indiana Jones movies, and there's only right. Just I got a shout out to my friend Waker for his birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, Wayne. I'm pumped. Says is yes him day. Okay. Again, check out the Secret Space Collectibles YouTube channel. There is the link. All you gotta do is click on it. Masters of the Universe looks great. Jared scares me though. Yeah, yeah. Oh, man, the Jared is like the Grim Reaper, man, for movies, for franchises, really. So I still hope, I hope this is the exception, but man, there is definitely a trend with movies where Jared Leto is involved. Um, yeah, I wish I could tell you this is going to be different, but I don't know. Um, all I can tell you, like I said, it looks good, like visually, right? Visually, it looks very good. I do have some reservations regarding the story from what I've seen. Um, the stuff with Earth and all of that. I don't know. If you remember the OG movie, right? Was basically set on Earth, and that was very much due to budget constraints. Back then. This one I don't think has had any like major budget constraints, so I think this is a story point, right? And I hope that they work that story point well into the overall story. And I hope, honestly, that we don't see much of Earth, right? I'm definitely more interested in seeing Eternia, but at the same time, I understand Eternia is expensive, so hopefully they can find a good balance. Ultra says didn't watch human movies since I'm not a human person, so I really can't give an honest opinion about it. Hey, no worries. I think it'll be fun at least. What does it look good? He-Man. I think the casting looks great. The costumes look good. They look pretty close to the let's say to the animated, right? Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same. Obviously, they're changing some of the story. But overall, I visually again, it looks great. I mean, Battle Cat looks pretty good. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, for sure, man. And again, guys, check it out on Friday night. Secret Space Collectibles. Is Collect says I still have my figures. Nice. Um, which parts do you like of trailer, not movie? Cartoon, the movies, the toys. Oh, for Motu, like I said, I used to have and I'm talking about when I was a kid, dude, like long time ago. I used to have He-Man, of course, um, and I very easily lost its chest rig. You know, the I guess the little plastic, right, chest. I don't know if I can call it armor, but yeah, the chest plate that it's got. Um, Lost that. I don't think I ever had the power sword, to be honest. Um, Remember, these were like hand me downs from my uncle. Battle Cat is the only thing that I still have. By the way, it's in the toy closet right now. Battle Cat. At some point, I did have the armor, you know, in the seat. Um, but again, that was promptly lost. And I could be misremembering. Like I said, this is like early. This is like within my first like 5 years that I was alive, dude. So it was a long time. But I do remember watching the cartoons. Of course, the original cartoons. I actually watched Revelations. You know, the ones from Netflix. Um, I was very interested to see the take that Kevin Smith had. You know, if you guys remember, he was given the project right to bring back the show, and it was hard because he set out to do a sequel, right? A sequel show to the OG cartoon. So when he announced that he was making it, I was like, "Oh, that's cool." He's bringing Mark Hamill. You know, he's bringing a bunch of like talented voice artists and writers. You know, Mark Bernardin was involved, and he absolutely loves the property. So I was like, I think it's in good hands. But then he said it was going to be a sequel to the original movie, to the original cartoon, and I was like, "Whoa, that is ambitious." And I'll let you guys tell me if he was successful or not. Um, I watched it. I watched all of it actually, and I have to give him kudos for including a lot of the mythology, right? That we didn't really get too much to see in the show. He worked in, characters like Hero, like Scareglow, right? Which were phenomenal toys. Scareglow is beautiful, by the way. Like if you guys haven't seen that, like the vintage one is very nice. Um, he kind of even worked in the Eternia playset right into the show, which again I really enjoyed that part. The story, you know, he definitely went places. Not very He-Man centric. Um, so a lot of people did not like that, like at all. So it was a little bit of a little bit of a change. Again, you know, I praise him for not shying away from a very hard task, but again, I'll let you guys tell me if you even remember the show, and if you did watch it, if you think it was a success. I know what he meant. Hey, no way. Thanks, Chef. Appreciate you, brother.
Wait a minute. How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Apparently not.
Hey, thank you so much. To Jeff with the 4.99 super chat. Thank you, man. Really appreciate you. Um, Actually, you know what? I think that might be the first. Yeah, I think that might be the first super chat of this year. Now that I think about it, so thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. Um, so yeah, any and all super chats, you know, for this January and February are going directly to keeping the heat on here in the bunker. It's cold down here, all right. I know, it's not that cold compared to everywhere else, but it's cold for us, all right. Very cold. So thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Is or is either way, it's good, man. Yeah, I'm sorry to do that. The other way, I was watching what was it? Your TikTok. He was watching your TikTok, and obviously, you introduce yourself, and I'm like, I've been saying his name wrong for like 2 years. So I'm sorry, dude. That was not intentional at all. Is collects. I'm gonna practice. Is collects. Um, and I appreciate you, by the way. Like, you always show up, you always show love. So thank you for that. Hey, look who it is, Janine, saying hi, y'all. What's going on, Janine? Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you. By the way, I should comment more. I will say I'm guilty of not commenting more, but I do appreciate all of the posts that you do. Every other day or so. Just kind of let us know how you guys are doing. I really appreciate them. I always read them, but I'm terrible at commenting on them. And again, I take full responsibility of that. But we at least myself, I try to keep up, with what's going on with you, and Scott. So sending you a big old hug. I hope that this year is absolutely better than than the last. But yeah, sending you guys a big hug. And again, we're always at least lurking, trying to see what's going on with Joel. And again, I appreciate the updates. Ultra says the Arctic from John Carpenter's The Thing is even worse than Hoth, as McCready made it clear to Knowles and Gary that they won't survive before they prepare to kill the thing. Yeah, man, now I kind of feel like watching that movie. Hello there, everyone, says OBP. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. Ultra saying hi to OBP. Is saying hi to Janine. Hi, says Janine. Amarash says hello there. Finally, a live channel I can watch. Hey, welcome. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Daniel Roseneck says Jack Black's son. I wish I would inherit that kind of money. Big John saying, if Filoni is truly in charge, give us a live action Clone Wars. I don't know, man. So getting back onto that subject, I would love to see a live action Clone Wars, right? Absolutely love it. Absolutely. If they bring back, of course, my man, Ewan McGregor, right? Obviously the chosen one, Hayden Christensen. Um, you know, what do you think, Rosario? I don't know if Rosario would be. Anyway, the point is, if they made it, with the live action counterparts, if they made a Clone Wars, incredible. But I think right now Disney is in like money conservation mode. And so I think they are rethinking a lot of their strategy, a lot of their spending, honestly. Um, I feel that this change with Kathleen Kennedy is part of that. This change in Galaxy's Edge, the um how do you call it? The OG trilogy characters, walking around um Galaxy's Edge again. And we've all seen the news right from last year where there's been a decline, in Disney attendance. So one of the things I want to talk about, and I promise it relates to this, is that Heir to the Empire. Remember the movie that was gonna be kind of like Filoni's Avengers, right? For the Mandoverse, Ahsoka, Mando, every single Jedi that's still alive, basically united against Thrawn, right? Probably like a loose adaptation of the original book from Timothy Zahn. Now, it was reported that it might not be a movie, that they might make it a series, a limited run series. And so where I'm going with all of this is that I would absolutely love to see Clone Wars live action. But to be honest with you, I actually think it's better if we wait a couple of years until Disney makes some money with Star Wars again, until they're confident with Star Wars again. Because I don't want another Obi-Wan situation, And again, let me clarify, I absolutely love the Obi-Wan show, but it was short. The scope of it was so reduced that it almost didn't make sense to make it. the budget was slashed and slashed and slashed, right? They made that show for like $25. And so I wouldn't want for a Clone Wars show, live action show, to be in production under this current conditions, where again, there's a lot of budget constraints, there's a lot of it has to make money, and all of that stuff. Like, I think it would be better if they start working on it, like I said, in a year or two, where things hopefully get better after the Mando and Grogu movie, which I really, really hope it does good money. I really, really hope. Like, if it does $1 billion, we're good, guys. Like, we're really good. But if it does like 150 mil, movies are dead again. Um, Hopefully, Starfighter, does a lot of money as well. So again, what I'm trying to say is, until Disney regains that trust, regains that um, willingness to spend money on Star Wars. So let's see. Jeff says, as long as they get out of Earth as fast as possible. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm okay with them starting off here. Maybe even flashbacks. Like, if you got to start in Eternia, flashback some 15 minutes, back to Earth, and then we're right back at Eternia. But I think it's gonna be interesting. Is Favreau still in Lucasfilm? As far as I know, yeah. One thing about Motu, where's Orko? Not yet. They're not showing us everything yet. Motu was after my cartoon time. Never got into that one. I did watch it a few times, so I know the very basics. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge property, of course. All good, bro. Yo, look who it is coming to podcast. What's up, Mario? I still have the 80s Masters of the Universe, Snake Man, still my faves. Yeah, man, those Snake people definitely underrated. Weird, my comments disappeared. Did it? Oh, what did I miss? Sorry. Great to see you. You too, Janine. Absolutely. Because I closed YouTube. Oops. Gotcha. Hey, Scott. What's up, man? Great to see you, brother. Great to see you, man. I hope y'all are doing amazing. You should have done about once a month. Yeah. I know. I mean, it takes time, obviously. Real life. What up? What's up, man? Hey, says, how goes, my dude? Good, man. Good. It's been a kind of crazy week at work, to say the least. But here we are. We're hanging out. We got the Bunker Bunch, and we're kind of theorizing here a little bit about the future of I was going to say Star Wars, but now that I think about it, it's more the future of Lucasfilm, which, as we discussed, involves other properties, right? So, yeah. Also, shout out to the Real Life Perspective Show. He uploaded this video that I barely saw, by the way. I'm sorry. I know you uploaded it a few weeks ago. He actually came down for one of our conventions here in town, and I got to meet him, in person. I made the cut to the video. So if you haven't, go check out Real Life Perspective Show here on YouTube and check out that video. Check out all the videos. Hi, Janine and Scotty. OBP says Scotty. I'm pumping in mode 2. Still no clue if Orko will show. Dude, yeah, if they don't, that's gonna be a problem. That is gonna be a problem. How are we waiting for the last minute to show him? I think so. I'm hoping so. Good points, General. Thank you. Real Life says, yeah, maybe a build up to part 2 and credit scene like they did. You know what? That's actually a good point. That's actually because Yoshi is now all over the advertising, right, for Super Mario Galaxy. I think the Mando Grogu movie will do well. Too many non-Star Wars people like Grogu. Yeah. So, speaking of the Mando and Grogu movie, I was talking with our friends from Mandalore Express on Monday. I was part of their live stream, which again, thank you guys for having me. And we were actually all in agreement that the movie looks fun, right? The movie looks fun. It's Mandalorian, it's Grogu, fun times, right? But that it doesn't really look like anything sort of like groundbreaking, right? It doesn't look like, there might not be many surprises, right? Story-wise. It looks like great action, right? Visually, of course, it's going to be incredibly, beautiful visually. but we were all sort of saying that it might not be a huge leap forward in the story of Star Wars, right? But at the same time, we all agreed that that's okay for now. This is the first movie again after the last one back in 2019. Many things have changed, so it makes sense for them to be a little conservative, right? In the sense that they are using characters that people know and love now. It's gonna be action packed, right? And they I don't know anything obviously, but they might not go too heavy on stories or references, so that the casual moviegoer is not totally lost. Sorry. Woo. Ooh, another near death experience. Oh, not cool. My body's like, hey, stop it. What was I saying? Yes, so tried and true, um, visually beautiful, action packed, of course. Some comedy. You guys know they're gonna put a lot of comedy into it, and hopefully it makes money, right? I think that's the ultimate goal here. Hopefully it makes good money, and like I said, hopefully that regains the trust, right, in the properties. Appreciate the shout out. No, I appreciate you, man, because you put me in your video. That was super cool. Hi, Pete, says Janine. If anyone is interested, he makes an appearance in the video with the Sam Jones, Leo Thompson cartoon. Yeah. Yeah, you got to meet them both, man, down here. It was pretty cool. So yeah. Okay, what are we getting this year for Star Wars? First thing up, unless they drop something new on us, which would be cool. We got Maul Shadow Lord animated show. 10 episodes starting on April 6th, ending in May the 4th, right? 2 episodes per week, which is pretty cool. Of course, it looks good. Again, visually, I don't know that there's been a Star Wars that doesn't look good. Again, visually, right? Story wise, there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of material I think that they can cover. We will have new characters. We will have old characters, of course. Um, we're gonna start exploring a little bit of not a period of time, because that period of time we've been in that period of time for the past 50 years, guys. But it's gonna be a period of time from a different perspective, right? Kind of like the underworld side of things. So that's gonna be pretty fun. Um, and then okay, so that ends in May the 4th. Then May what? Oh, I'm blanking out. May 26th. Is that right? We will have the Mandalorian and Grogu movie in theaters. So finally, Star Wars is coming back to theaters, and I'm super happy about that. Like, I cannot wait for that. But so that's in May also. So first half of the year, we're eating pretty good. All right, we're eating pretty good. Now, second half of the year, we should see Ahsoka season 2. Actually, do we have a release date already? Not that I have seen. Does anybody know if we got an actual date? I know they said sometime this year, but anyway, more than likely, sometime in the fall. They might even push it to the very end, right? They've done that. They have premiered stuff, in December, right? So, but in theory, we should get it at least started, at least the first episode this year in 2026 for Ahsoka season 2. And I'm hoping that we get another Tales of something, right, this year. I've been loving those shorts. I think they've done a great job at filling some of the gaps in the story and at keeping sort of that Clone Wars, feeling alive. Definitely, the animation obviously is very similar, but I've enjoyed them. I've liked all of them, and I want to see more, right? And I think it's very cool that they just give us a little bit. They're focused, they're very character driven. which I really like. Um, and then that's it. They're gone, right? You know, would it be great to have a show? Yes, but at the same time, we would lose focus on those characters, right? They would have to put in fillers, etc., etc. So I've been enjoying that little 6 episode mini episodes, right? Um, three focus on one character, three focus on another, and then that's it. We're out for the year. So I'm hoping this year the trend continues, right? We've had three of them so far, so kind of hoping that we get some more this year. Um, and then what am I missing? What am I missing in terms of media for Star Wars this year? I feel like I'm missing one. I'm not sure. I think video games, there might be a couple, hopefully. But media, am I blanking out on anything that comes out this year? Um, what else? What else? If you guys know, please let me know down in the chat if I am missing something. What am I missing? Let me look up here. Mole. Oh yeah, the Ninth Jedi. Sorry, Visions, Star Wars Visions. That's actually coming up here, kind of soon. So we're gonna have the first, basically full season, right, of Vision inspired, or a character that came out in Visions, right, which is gonna be the Ninth Jedi. Then we got, I think that's it, right? We have Maul, we have Grogu and Mando, we have Visions, and Ahsoka season 2. And like I said, hopefully a tales of, right? Hopefully a tales of something. So potentially five things, five properties or five shows and movies for this year. So I think that's pretty good, right? I think we're not gonna see two live action uh, TV shows like we did, in years prior. Um, yeah, I don't think so. I think it's gonna be more like it is this year. We're gonna see one animated and one live action, right? And a movie in between those would be awesome. So 2027 should see the release of Star Wars Starfighter, right? And so we have the potential to kind of keep this cycle going. Another animated and another live action show. Although I feel that if there was going to be another live action show, we should hear about it like right now. Ahsoka season 2, we knew it was coming years ago. Um, but they started filming very very recent. Well, I say recently, but less than a year ago. Um, at the time when we were in Celebration Japan, they had not filmed anything for Ahsoka season 2. They literally started the following week after Celebration happened. So that was towards the end of April of last year. So again, it's been a short amount of time. I'm sure the post production work on it is insane. So the fact that we see it here this year, right? And again, it could be the fall, it could be the summer though. But let's say the fall, right? So they cover that second half of the year. Ahsoka season 2 is one of the most highly anticipated, projects for Star Wars. So it kind of makes sense up to a point that they stretch it out a little bit and cover the whole year, which is fine by me. I mean, we're gonna have some pretty good stuff this first half of the year, so no need to get too greedy because then we're gonna be like, well, now it's a year until something else comes out, right? Mm, let's see. Real Asperg says, smash that thumbs up, support your boy. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. OBP says, I hope we get a Ahsoka season 2 release date on May the 4th. I don't know, man. I think May would be too saturated if we have the last episode of Maul, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and Ahsoka season 2. In theory, it would be great because May would be awesome. And, it's my birthday month, so it kind of does make sense that it's awesome. But then later in the fall, if we don't get anything, we're just gonna be like, okay, well, hopefully soon we get something. There's a new game coming up. Nice. That kind of makes sense. Hopefully they do a good one, man. When is Starfighter coming out? 2027. Never mind. Got it. Yes, sir. So yeah, we have like I said, in my mind, we got a pretty good lineup for the first half of this year already. But again, let me know, what are you expecting to see announced? All right, we're gonna start with announcements here in the next few months. I think probably like around May the 4th, we're gonna get maybe the next movie, like the actual movie they're gonna work on, which won't be released until 2028 or 2029 even. um but I think they're gonna do that so that they, how can I say it? They communicate, right, that we are moving forward, that we are getting some new stuff. All right, so I wanted to show. Whoop, closed it. My bad. I wanted to show you guys a note that came out from Sundance, and I think most of you have probably seen this, but just in case you haven't. So, both Ryan Johnson and Kelly Marie Tran, who played Rose Tico, had some stuff to say about Kathleen Kennedy being departed, from the top position. Again, Kathleen Kennedy's still around, guys. Okay, she didn't retire, she didn't, quit. It's just she's still around. Okay. So this is what Ryan Johnson said. I love Kathy. Let me see. Can you guys see it? Yeah. I love Kathy. I'm excited now to see what she does next. Star Wars fan, the most exciting thing for me is always seeing when they bring in fresh voices and fresh filmmakers to come in and tell new stories in that world. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing more happen. Except for him. If you remember, Ryan Johnson's trilogy is not happening. So there's that. And where is it? Oh yeah, he mentioned during the exit interview with Deadline, says, when Kennedy said that, I do believe he got spooked by the online negativity. This is Kathleen Kennedy talking about Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson replied, "LOL, zero spooked. Sorry." Sure, buddy. Sure. She also explained the ones that Ryan Johnson got around to making Star Wars trilogy he was announced to be making because he was busy making murder mysteries with Daniel Craig as usual. However, when asked about this, Johnson said that he'd still sign up for another Star Wars, movie. I had the time of my life doing it. I am now an even bigger Star Wars fan than I was going into it. I would feel blessed if that were to ever happen again. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think Ryan Johnson gets another bite of the apple? Not so sure. And again, also at Sundance, Kaylee Marie Tran, which again famously portrayed Rose Tico, a very underused character, one that was promised way more, kind of like Finn was, and one that generated a lot of chatter, right? A bit of controversy, back then also. Due to some racist, comments and some racist attacks against Kelly Marie. But Kelly Marie Tran said, whoop, she had such an incredible career. To have someone who is not just a woman, but who is so capable in that role for so long, and it's historic. I think that it's such a loss. I'm very happy for all the life changes she is making. I 100% agree with the fact that she's had an incredible career, guys. Okay, say what you will about um, the perceived direction that she took Lucasfilms, but she's been involved in some incredible things, like throughout her very long career. She was president of Lucasfilms for 14 years. Like, that is not an easy job. Again, that's not a job I would want, to be honest. But yeah, she's out, and now there's two people, basically uh, fulfilling that role. So, what do you think about the comments from Ryan Johnson and Kelly Marie Tran? I think it makes sense because that's they were around really in the era where Kathleen Kennedy was coming into her own, sort of flexing, right, her muscles, finally stretching out her wings, let's say, as president of Lucasfilms. The acquisition of Lucasfilm by Disney had come and gone, a few years back from that. And so I think that's when she really had, like, finally, power. With finally she was, on track to do what she thought she wanted to do with that trilogy. Whoa, again with this thing. I'm gonna have to do something about it. And so I do think they see her in a favorable light. Ryan Johnson coming back to direct. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe we give him like an episode, like a TV episode. Test him out, let's test him out. Maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Then we'll talk for a movie. Yo, says Archer from Nerd Affiliated. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah. Oh, look what it is, guys. You guys
Wait a
are
minute.
awesome.
How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Apparently not.
Man, I really, really appreciate you. Nerd Affiliated with the 199 super chat. Did I mention I like me The Last Jedi now? Hey, New Year's resolution, New Year's, new me, or something like that. I don't know. People with actual goals say stuff like that. But thank you. And once again, every super chat is going directly to keep the heat on here in the bunker, because we cold out here. Hey, Archer says OBP. Archer says Janine. Ultra says still hate the attacks Hillmarine received. Yeah. That's still one of the reasons why Asian stars haven't been casting lead roles. I agree. Famous franchise other than Star Wars. No. I totally with you, Ultra. It was flat out wrong. Okay, let's just go out and say it. It was flat out wrong. Unprovoked. I mean, come on. Who gets that kind of hate, really? For portraying a fictional character. I'm like, dude, like, chill. That's not what we do. Ultra says still had the fact that Jurassic World Rebirth chose not to cast an Asian star like Rin Kikuchi for the lead role, and instead wasted it on Scarlett Johansson, who's overrated for Black Widow rehashes. And that's because she doesn't even play, I feel like, or hasn't even played Black Widow like that recently. Man, I'm out of it. Ultra saying hi to Nerdy. Gotta keep it hot there. Yes, sir. And I appreciate it, man. Hey, Obi and Jedi. Hey, Ultra. And I find Kelly Marie Tran very underrated. She was way more talented over. Yes, I think I agree with you that she is more talented. I think she was heavily underused in Star Wars. They definitely changed the direction that her character was supposed to take, especially in that last movie for The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, she was there for like 15 seconds and then she was gone. I think she had like 3 lines. So I don't know. Not cool. I think at that point, the story couldn't have been worse. So might as well should have put in a little bit more Rose Tico. Juan asking us, did you see the Daredevil trailer? Looks amazing. Yes, I think Daredevil is so back. Jessica Jones, come on. I mean, we kind of knew it was going to happen, right? Like, we knew, but still. It's awesome. So yes, I'm very happy that kind of like that section of the Marvel universe is finally back and finally more or less integrated, right, into the overall Marvel universe. Which is funny because I think they're about to hit that reset button on that Marvel Cinematic Universe. And to be honest with you, I am all for that. Like, we need to clean the slate. Let's just, you know what, this isn't working anymore. Let's just start over. Yeah. Am I excited for Avengers Doomsday? Very much so. But if that movie doesn't make at least $1 billion, I will consider it a failure, because they're bringing everybody. And I mean everybody. Except Bray Park. I think we talked about that last time. But anyway, yeah. So I am very happy. Born Again looks amazing, season 2. I hope that they keep the momentum that they had for season 1. They have great writers, I think. They have great actors, of course. I think they're going to be borrowing a little bit more for the source material. I'm sorry. And then, of course, the inclusion of Jessica Jones and other characters, I think it's gonna be good. It looks great, of course. Um, and I always enjoyed the Netflix Daredevil. I wasn't a huge fan of the Defenders, if I'm being completely honest. I watched it. I watched the whole thing. Back then, I was watching everything Marvel. Man, it was exhausting. Um, but yeah, Defenders not so much, not so much. But yeah, Netflix versus the house. Yeah, man, finally, right? It's like that scene in get everyone, everyone, everyone. Yeah, yeah. And let's be honest, what else can they do? Like, there's no more options for Marvel at this point. They have to. They have to give us every single person that was even adjacent to Marvel, for the past 30 years. Um, and then that's it. They got nothing more in the quiver. So let's just wrap it up. Right. Let's just wrap it up. Maybe take a couple of years break, cleanse the palate. Then we start slowly again. Another framework for Doomsday and Secret War. It will be great. I read the comics. Yeah, like I said, I'm super excited for the movies, but I'm saying like anything beyond that, that they try to continue sort of in the same vein. I think it would be a mistake if I'm being honest. Like I kind of need to see it again, like just reset. I love those characters. The actors that portray them have done, for the most part, really, really good job. But let's be honest, the last few years for Marvel have not been great. They've been okay at best. They're resetting the MCU. Yeah, like I said, they have to. I mean, there's no other option in my mind, anyway. Um, Okay, so I think that is gonna do it for tonight's episode. Thank you for taking this little theorizing, trip with me as to what's to come, from Lucasfilm. Like I said, I think overall this is a positive step. I think Dave Filoni is absolutely the right man to do this job. But like I said, me being the pessimist that I am, I think that the fandom in general needs to curb their expectations a little bit as to how much actual work Filoni will be able to do that translates to the screen, right? Writing, directing, designing. I think it's gonna, I think it's gonna be less. But at the same time, like I said, he's got more responsibility. He's got more power too, so he's gonna be able to oversee some pretty awesome stuff. All right. Again, thank you for joining me here. Thank you to Jeff for the super chat. Thank you to Archer for that super chat. Again, guys, I really, really appreciate y'all. And yeah, those were the first super chats here for the year. So thank you. I really, really appreciate y'all. All right. So stay safe, stay warm. Most of the country is still very, very much frozen. So, if you don't have to go out and drive too much, don't. Stay in, stay cozy, watch Star Wars. Oh, I started watching Last Samurai Standing. Pretty fun. Pretty fun so far. So I do recommend it. But anyway, again, thank you for joining me. I will catch you on the next one. Love y'all.